I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. It was not a day that I look back and feel sorry for me. It's a day of strength, the beginning of a different set of strength, source of strength for me. The morning of September 11th, about 8:42, I was walking into my office on the 102nd floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Centers. And within a minute of arriving, the first building was hit, which was directly across from my office. I actually had seen something, and I wasn't sure what it was at the time. I saw something coming in. Tower 1 exploded as I was taking my shoes out of my desk. Exploded in my face, literally, because my office was right there. It was the window that looked out to northern Manhattan. And there it began. I remember just going to a stairwell which was cluttered with people, just a bottleneck with people, and on the overhead, "Please return to your offices, we have everything under control." Over and over, "Please return to your offices, we have everything under control." And my only thought was, clearly there's no control. There was panic, no control, just a bottleneck of people from stairwell to stairwell. What should we do? And I shouted over and over, "Get out of the building, we'll deal with everything later." I got to the 86th floor, and as I was turning from 86 to 85, the second plane came in. Somebody had the fire door open on the 85th floor, so as we were coming down, going around the 85th, the fire door is open, and the second plane came in at an angle that I later learned it was at an angle. Who knows what would have happened? But I think just the angling of the plane is the reason I'm sitting here. Because there's a good chance I probably would have been above. Instead, it just literally, as the plane was going through the building that morning, and I read that it entered from the 77th to the 86th floor, and I was turning from the 86th floor onto the 85th, and it broke the wall. So, dead or alive, I knew at least where I was going. Firemen were going up and fully clothed, the armor and the headgear and the stuff that they have to carry up in an emergency, and we pleaded with them, don't go up there, and their simple response is, it's our job, we have to. We know that over about 300 of them died that day. We kept on running. We eventually got to the concourse level, and the only thing we could hear as we got down to the concourse level, security was telling us, go out this way or go that way. I went the way I normally came into the building, since I was there practically every weekend with my nephew and nieces. And as we got down, that was all you kept hearing, and it was body parts and furniture and whatever else dropping on the plaza of the World Trade Center. The things that we saw were just blood-stained newspapers, people who were splattered from jumping out of the windows. And I think even though I had seen it, I denied it, because later friends were commenting on about that so many people had jumped, and I shouted, "How could you say such a thing? People wouldn't do that." My own denial, where God was putting everything I was afraid of before me to walk through. Until we face our fears in life, they will haunt us. My work here really gives me an opportunity to give to these students what many of them are not getting. And I know that their situations at home, which I had as well, There was a point where I said, I don't think there's anything that these students have gone through that I haven't gone through. And their world has just ended because they failed a class. It provides a perfect opportunity for me to share and help them to put things in perspective, because your world has not just ended. It's beginning. And unless you recognize the seriousness of this and what you need to do to move on, you're not going to move on. Certainly not successfully. You have patience at the end of your training, and you need to do this the right way. And if you can't deal with failing a class, you can get up again. And if you choose not to get up, yes, you have failed. Out of every devastation that you face in life, you have a choice. You either stay under the rock and hide, or you can get up and say, I know where my strength comes from. I know where mine comes from. When you create excuses, you've just killed a person. Because those excuses get in the way of you learning the right way. And that's why I do this job.